Anything catch your eye?
Sotto una nuova gestione, incarichi disponibili. Dove cavolo è? Sacro Impero di San... ok. È la prima volta che lo mettono, mi sa. Sì, effettivamente sì.
Take that, you naughty thing!
Club.
Clive! I just wanted to see how the town's been faring since you... since we brought everyone together, all is absolutely wonderful. Conrad and Natalie's hands remain safely away from each other's throats, and firmly at the helm. Our stores are full, and the bandits still too disorganized to raid them. Just as the good Lady Jane and Lord Underhill intended.
Are you a lord? They're going to make him the Lord of Dalamil, because of how he stopped all the grown-ups from fighting.
It's the mayor of Dalamil, dear child, and the vote hasn't taken... But if the people wish me to lead them, I shall. And my first act will be to build a school so that menaces like you two learn not... Speaking of menaces, there may be a rather worrying one just over the horizon. May there indeed. I'm afraid the example Conrad and Natalie set in putting aside their differences and presenting a united front might have caught the bandits' attention, and they might have elected to take a similar approach. They have formed what one could call a League of Outlaws, and they grow more organized by the...
We'll fight them all off just like last time. Won't we?
Of course we will. If we continue to work together, we can overcome any challenge. The longer we avoid facing this one, the more difficult it will be. Until the only way to overcome it might be to run for the hills. Our best hope is to nip these efforts at organization in the butt by finding those ne'er-do-wells who have yet to join the cause. Perhaps a certain Lord Underhill might be willing to lend us his aid once... How could I refuse? Thank you. Victor will fill you in on the particulars. I have him stationed by the desert gate, receiving and collating reports from my scouts. I'll go and speak with him.
Bene. Let's go.
Still in Dalamil, Victor?
Ah, sick.
I thought you'd have returned to Cosnus by now.
I did. Then I came back. I've developed something of a fondness for the place, and having worked so hard to see it saved from one fate, it would seem remiss to abandon it to another. A sentiment Master Lubor certainly isn't shy about exploiting. Hence my doing his bidding yet again.
You're not the only one.
What does he want you to do?
He asked for my aid in putting down the bandits, and he said that you might be able to help me find them.
Then you've come at just the right time. I was on my way to speak with Conrad about how to organize our forces. There are more camps in the vicinity than we can safely strike at one, but we must strike together, and we must strike soon, at as many camps as we can. We can't give this league of theirs time to rally its forces.
All right.
There's one upriver, just out there across the...
Leave it with me. That must be the camp Victor mentioned. Come on then, Toggle.
That's him! The one who killed Locke and
Oh.
Fingers. Take his head off!
No, vabbè. Oh, l'ha curato, c'è il maghetto che cura. Bello lì. Setaccio, pelle insanguinata, cenere magica.
I better let Victor know.
Sid. Ah, I see the bandits didn't pose you any trouble.
No, but that's not why you're here, is it?
No. Something's happened. We need you back in Dalimil.
What is it?
The whole town's in uproar. They're saying that Lubor is a bearer.
What?
Seems that one of our parties wasn't as thorough as they should have been. They let one of the bandits escape, and his escape route took him right through Some of the children spotted him, and he was about to silence them. And when Lubor felled him with a bolt of magic, and without a crystal.
But that's not possible.
It is, if he's a bearer and has been hiding it all these years. Which is what people are saying. If he has, well, I wouldn't blame him. No man is branded by choice. Still, all those people see is a man who's lied to them all his life. One who has made a leader of himself when the world believed he should have been a slave.
Fuck.
I don't know where we go from here, but I know one thing. Lubor needs all the friends he can get right now.
You're right.
Non può essere. Andiamo a verificare.
And now everyone knows. I made it a habit to keep a crystal close at hand for just such an occasion. And when that occasion arose, I forgot to reach for it. Well, it was bound to come out sooner or later.
We're sorry, Lubor. We just couldn't anymore.
There's nothing to be sorry for. I rather enjoyed playing the hero. All that matters to me is that you two are safe.
Look at him talking to his betters like it's nothing. All lies, I'll wager. Just like the ones he fed us all these years.
Once people make up their minds, it's hard to change them. We need to do something. And convince the people not to let their prejudices blind them. Convince them that nothing has changed.
Oh dear.
That their enemy lies outside these walls.
You're right. We should speak to everyone.
I'm glad you agree. I'm a Dalmek born and bred. They listen to you. Head to the tavern. Make Conrad and Natalie remember. They know that Lubor and I are friends. I might not make for the most impartial of interlocutors. Lord Underhill of Randalar's League of Merchants, however.
I'll do what I can.
Oddio. Sono delle idee che è più facile cambiare testa che cambiare opinione a qualcuno. Vediamo, adesso dobbiamo semplicemente parlare, cercare di dissuadere le persone.
Why you taking the bearer's side?
Why do they always have to make such a fuss out?
He knew all along that he was playing us.
Forgive me for disturbing you, but could I have a moment of your time?
I've seen your face before.
As have I. Lord Underhill, wasn't it? Of the League of Merchants.
That's right. I wanted to speak to you about Lubor.
The rumors that he's a bearer. All true, I'm afraid.
But what of his wares? Bearer or no, his steel is highly valued throughout the Republic. In this, at least, he's done the town a service. Might that not earn him a little leniency?
Leniency? He pretended to be one of us when he was laughing behind our backs all the while.
So what do you propose? Will you drive him from his home? Close?
Perhaps. That is a question for the people of Dalimil. And they will thank you not to get involved.
Cucciola, vuoi venire sulle gambe? Dai, vieni. Vieni.
The townsfolk have made their minds up. There was nothing I could do.
Nor I. Conrad and Natalie refused to consider anything but their own wounded pride.
You never know. Once their anger is cooled, they might see things differently. For now, we should report back to Lubor.
All right.
Why the hell would Victor take the bearer's side?
I assume the situation... There's still hope.
Niente.
But perhaps not in this lifetime, I think it's fair to say.
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. We'll talk some sense into them in the end. You'll see.
No, you won't. And your efforts would be better spent.
But Lubor...
Rosina would often tell me that steel does not lie, that a blade is a reflection of the smith who forged it. To yourself be true, that was her point. Rather an ironic one when you consider that her life was taken with a blade of her own making. But I do not doubt that she was always true to herself and what she believed in, right to the end. And so must I be. I must do what I know to be right, no matter what others might think of me. And now, I know what that is. I must embrace my new role of villain so that the people of Dalimil have something to unite against. For only united can they hope to stand against the threat that awaits them. I'll need to make a suitably dramatic exit, of course.
Don't go, Lubor. You're the only one who was ever kind to us. We'll be all alone. Again.
Trust me, little ones. It is for the best that I go. Not only for the town, but for you, too.
How could it possibly be for the best? These children need you. The least you can do is give the townspeople a chance to change their minds.
I would not take it, Victor. It's over.
Over, you say? And so just like that, you're going to throw this town and these children to the wolves? I thought you were better than this. But it seems you had me fooled as well.
Victor.
Forget it.
You sure you're making the right choice, Lubor?
Of those available to me, I believe it's the best one. Ah, but where are my manners? Here. Right then. I have packing to do.
If there's anything I can do.
I'll bear it in mind.
E la mia gatta mi sta sulle gambe, vero cucciola? Per poco a quanto pare. Giocare con una mano sarebbe stato comunque impegnativo. Allora, 3500 punti esperienza, 120 cenere magica e meteorite. Di conseguenza Uber ha deciso di fare i bagagli e scappare via, tanto ormai era...
Lord Rosfield, is there aught the Undying might assist you with this day?
Perhaps. My brother said that your order was helping him with his quest to uncover Ultima's origin. Have you learned anything of note since...
Little and less, I regret to report.
I see.
Be assured, however, that we will not rest until the truth is. Even now, our archaeologians scour ruins in every corner of the realm for traces of Ultima's touch.
Fallen ruins, I take it. Dating back as far as Phoenix Gate.
Indeed. Ultima's thralls are oft sighted among the remnants of the fallen civilization, as if protecting the secrets concealed within.
Secrets we'd see unearthed.
Should our methods be, mayhap it would please you to observe some of our number at work.
Would that be possible?
Of course. A survey is being conducted not far from here. Perchance you are familiar with Kretov, a small hamlet built around I was due to visit my colleagues there to collect their preliminary find. If you would consent to do so in my stead, I'm sure that they would be honored to relate it.
All right. I'll go and meet with them.
They will be most gratified. Might I suggest you take the road through Titan? It will lead you straight to the village after but a short walk.
Thank you.
I wish you a safe journey, my lord. May the Firebird's flames burn ever in your...
Bene.
Oh no. You'll pay for this. still be survivors. Whatever that thing is, say it's their leader.
Sembrava un piccolo carro armato questa cosa qua.
Too slow.
Oh! Ben ti sta, ben ti sta. 1100, ok. Guerrite, cenere magica.
Should have stayed in the past. These must be Cyril's colleagues.
You have our thanks, stranger.
Who are you?
Ah, forgive me, my lord. I did not recognize you. You are Lord Rosfield, are you not? We are archaeologians, tasked with surveying this site. When the echoes appeared, our brothers here
Velocizza un
occupied
po'
their attention. Thanks to them,
i
and to
dialoghi.
you, we were, for a mercy, able...
You call that a mercy? Your brothers might still be alive if you put their safety before your duty. Surely this survey wasn't worth dying for.
We are charged with uncovering ultimate, a duty of the highest import.
And you think your dead brothers would agree with you too?
I know they would. They gave their lives for the cause, an honor to which now. To what do we owe the honor of your presence, Lord?
Cyril told me of your work here, and I agreed to collect your findings in his stead.
I see. That is most kind. May the Firebird's flame burn ever in your heart.
Addirittura sono così dediti alla causa che addirittura...
It's one thing to lay down your life for another.
Esatto.
But for a survey... I suppose I'd better get this back to Cyril.
Praticamente dedicare la propria vita per delle ricerche. Bello! Quanto è buio questo gioco. Ho messo la luminosità al massimo.
Here.
My thanks. I shall study them, and inform you forthwith if I discover aught that might aid you in your...
Cyril.
Già.
Your survey party suffered several losses in Kretov. Losses which could have been avoided. Had the others not chosen to complete their work, instead of saving their friends? Were these your orders?
No, in parte è fatto
This was
apposta.
their choice. Every Undying devotes his life to the service of the Phoenix. It is our sole duty.
Even when death is avoidable.
My lord, I fear that this is not a point over which it would be fruitful. The Undying have served the Phoenix for countless generations. And your opinion of our methods, however earnest, is not like to change. We live to serve the Phoenix. Our very order exists for that.
Cyril, I know that you and your brethren answer only to Joshua, but allow me to offer you a word of advice. It does not further the cause of the Phoenix to have his loyal followers surrender their lives. Provide your survey parties with an escort, that they might live to do their duty for years to come. Think not only of how you can serve the Phoenix, but how Joshua would want you to serve him. Please.
I thank you for your... If you will permit me to respond. Our faith in... And we of the Undying will do what we believe is right as first shield to the
Sì, ma che
Phoenix.
fine ha fatto il nostro fratello, tra
I'm sure you
l'altro?
understand.
I do.
Then we are of the same mind.
Come ce l'ha? Che c'è? Che c'è lì? Soffio del ghiaccio. L'era glaciale riduce di 1,5 secondi il tempo di ricarica di era glaciale. Ok. Un altro gadget direi potenzialmente utile, però preferisco altro.
Don't blame yourself, Elle. This is their fault.
I know, but
No buts about it, all right?
Is something wrong?
Vonnie came to give me a message from our intermediary. The talks with the Republican Army have fallen through. They've reached an agreement with the Silver Peak Consortium. Though prices have fallen of late, we deliberately offered above the going rate to try and deter other bidders. But the Consortium offered double what we did, and the Army jumped.
You had no opportunity to make a counteroffer.
None at all.
Elle? What's happened? I saw Vonnie leaving. She didn't look happy.
And with good reason.
But I thought we were the only ones the Fist was speaking to about the bearers. How did the Consortium even find out about this?
It's not so surprising. They have ears all over the Republic. This isn't over. The Consortium will have to sell these bearers eventually. And I'm going to Randalar myself.
Alone?
Are you offering to be my bodyguard? How kind. Meet me at the checkpoint near the Capital gates. I'll send an owl ahead and request... You go to Cashlock, Theo, and get everything ready. Even if I fail to free these bearers, someone needs to prepare the place and keep any prowling beasts at bay.
Oh, and that's me, is it? Well, it looks like I'm following orders till she gets back from meeting the Silver Peak Consortium. She'll never join them after this, surely. No, she said it herself. She still has plans for Cashlock, even if she means to stay with us then. I can't say I'm not happy to hear it, but... Is this what she really wants?
You have to trust...
You're right. It's what she wants now. And if Elle's off fighting for the cause, I should do my part too. So I bid you farewell and safe travels, my friend. I'll gather my men and leave for Cashlock. You go to Randalar and see if you can stop my sister biting the Consortium's heads off.
I'll do my best. All right. To Randalar, then.
Oh, mi stanno ancora inseguendo, no? Basta. Bene.
I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Did you arrange to speak with...
Here they are now.
You wish to consult with me?
I did. It's about the bearers you recently purchased from... We had all but finished making arrangements to buy them ourselves.
You misunderstand. The Consortium had an interest in... It was only our regard for you that kept us from bidding. But your hesitancy, and so we resumed our...
I did not hesitate. I am simply not inclined to make such decisions but what is done is done. Come then.
Alas, you are too late yet again. We rarely take on such unconventional merchandise. The bearers belong to him.
Who is your buyer?
A trader from across the water. A most demanding fellow, if it's any consolation. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed. That's what you get when you deal with...
I wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture on the continent is quite different. They pay good money for bearers not fit for the knacker's yard, and treat them like kings. But as long as they pay...
That does sound no matter then. If they've already left our shores, there's little that can be done. And with it, my interest in joining your organization...
My associates will be sorry to hear.
I'm sorry you weren't.
As am I. He was right. The Silver Peak Consortium did Their representative hinted at a possible I feigned interest in joining them in the hope he might be... As soon as he left, I sent my own offer to Rand...
So you never...
No. I entertained the Consortium's... But I was a fool to think they wouldn't find out.
You tried.
I did. And they deserved... I wanted so badly to see them.
Eloise! Word from Cashlock. The village is under attack. A pack of beasts have come down from the mountains, and there's a dragon at its head. Theo and the others are trying to hold them off as best they can, but they need help, and...
Theo!
I'll go on ahead.
Thank you, Clive. I'll gather some men and join you there. Just...
Ok, era proprio quello che aspettavo. Sono che cosa ci stavo a fare qua?
Hold on, Theo.
Fammi vedere quanto siamo distanti, se c'è un teleport più nelle vicinanze. Sì, decisamente questo. Da qui prendiamo subito sulla destra e poi sulla sinistra.
Where's Theodore?
Upriver!
He led the dragon that way to keep it from the village.
But we just have to pray he makes it out in one piece.
I can do better than that. Torgal, with me. Damn it. The ether's too thick. These creatures have already turned. You're finished. Any more time. I need to find Theodore before that dragon does.
Tranquillo, il drago ci ha trovato.
Like it's found me.
Già.
This thing's
Bene.
well. This isn't going to be easy.
E sono contento. Finalmente un po' di challenge.
Now, Torgal! Run!
Oh! Oi! 2 bei colpi direi che mi ha dato.
To me, boy. You're a fine hound.
Vai, vai. Anche io gli ho fatto dei bei danni, eh. Buongiorno, come va? Alla grande, miei carapatti. Te come va?
Titan!
No! C'è la mia gatta che vuole attenzioni. Ma poi ce l'ha. Ma questo bel drago lo andiamo a affrontare e sono molto curioso. Ormai. Oh, sto per morire. Devo stare un pochino attento. Però sono un po'... come dire? Taccagno? Vediamo se faccio il level up. No, solo 1200 punti di esperienza. Immaginavo molti di più. Invece me ne ha dati veramente pochissimi di punti di esperienza.
Clive? You had me worried for...
Oddio.
We have to get you out of here. I think it might be a little too late for that. Bearer or no, there's only so much ether a man can take, and that Drake just wouldn't let me leave. You have my thanks, Sid, for finishing what I could not. For keeping Elle's dream.
No, Theodore. Ma se non facciamo questa magari lui non moriva. Alla grande, mio caro Isaac, finché c'è la salute va alla grande. Siamo qua con Final Fantasy XVI, lo conosci? Guarda qua, il fratello.
Take care of my sister. Vito, wait. Goodbye. Oh.
Thank you, Clive. I think I'll be all right now.
That was true bravery he showed. Leading the dragon away from the village like that. His first instinct was always to protect people. To put others' well-being before his own.
And now he's gone. Because I sent him to that place. Against...
It wasn't against his will. He was ready to do whatever it took to show you he could stand on his own. So that you would finally be free to live your own life.
To live my own life? He never could come to terms with the choice I made.
Abbiamo fatto questa secondaria, praticamente.
You once told me Theo was the first bearer you ever helped.
Il fratello è morto, chissà se non lo facevamo, se sarebbe cambiato qualcosa all'interno del finale o semplicemente non avremmo visto questa scena.
We were born to one of the great trading houses. And I was chosen to inherit the family business. I had my father's head for figures, you see. Theo did not. While I studied the art of commerce, he played at soldiers instead. A late bloomer, in more ways than one. For unlike most bearers, it wasn't until his 15th summer that his powers awakened. My parents tried to drive him out of the house and into the care of the constables. But before they could, I took him into mine.
Theo told me something else. He clearly admired your devotion to the cause of freeing others like him from slavery.
Ma a dire vero non mi sento così stanco. Dici di sì, può essere comunque.
He wanted to free you from what he called your bonds, just as you freed him from his.
I would be lying if I said I had not wondered from time to time how much easier my life might have been if I had allowed Theo to be taken and devoted myself to the family business instead.
Welcome, Anya, come va? Bentornata.
The decision I made. Being with my brother meant more to me than tradition. I only had to look at him to remind myself of that night and the choice I made and the fact that I would make the same choice again in our... He was never a burden. If anything,
You weren't, Eloise. That he had always been grateful to you for... and that he wanted to repay you by letting you live the life. Neither you nor Theo weighed each other down. You did whatever was necessary to continue living your life, and you always would have.
You're right. All I ever wanted, all I ever did, it was so we could be together. Oh, Theo. Why did you have to...
Ti stai rimettendo in pari con l'Arcon Quest, bene bene bene. Hai fatto le notti, quindi ci può stare? Sì, allora ho fatto sì, tutte le notti e oggi ho lavorato fino alle 2, perciò.
I know Theo wanted me to move on. But I'm staying here at the Crimson Caravan. We can make a difference here. I need nothing more from life, so I'll carry on doing what we do. Bringing smiles to people's faces, just like we always have, and to Theo's. This is the life I have chosen. The life I will always choose.
I've made a choice of my own to continue helping you however I can.
Thank you, Clive. Let's go on together then. For Theodore.
Sì, comunque di solito andavo a dormire alle 7:30, perciò è ancora presto per me. Allora, vediamo. Oh, adesso ci ha dato ben 6.000 punti di esperienza e abbiamo fatto il level up. Siamo a livello 44. 44, bene. Così tanto?
Oh, Clive. What am I to do? My wards and I may soon
Stavo
be without
pensando
it.
di sì.
The High Cardinal
Però non
has
so.
descended from his lofty throne.
Non saprei
Leader
neanche
of the
come fare
Council
ora
of
come ora.
Elders, second only to his radiance at the head of the... Not that any of those things still exist.
And what does he want with Northrop?
He wants to transform it into a foundation upon which to build a new Sambrec. He's already secured the support of the various army remnants, with promises that they shall be afforded the respect they deserve.
He would rob the populace to pay for it.
Believe me, I have used every means of persuasion to discourage him from the...
What does Captain Philippe make of this? When the town was under attack, it was him the soldiers rallied around. Couldn't he use that influence?
How? By speaking out against one of the most powerful men, a man whose stated aim is to revive the empire Philippe's comrades swore to serve. The captain can offer them a regular supply of gruel and an occasional trip to the Vale to help them forget the terrors they face each day. No. Any attempt to... Given the mood around town, mutiny may yet be unavoidable. The people have
And who could blame them?
Clive, would you appeal to the Duke for your services to Northreach? You have the respect of the... And unlike Philippe, no bonds of... Well?
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Clive.
Tell me then, where will I find this Duke of In the garrison?
Overseeing the troop.
All right.
Gli è piaciuto? Al tuo ragazzo il 16? È molto diverso dagli altri, molto diverso dagli altri. Il remake del 7, praticamente quello sul cellulare, lo vorrei giocare. Molto probabilmente non interesserà tanto, e poi la nostra community è più incentrata su Genshin.
Oh, sorry about that. You're the dame's man, aren't you? You got some business with the captain?
Adesso sto andando un po' avanti con la storia.
We're under orders not to let any civilians pass, but you should be all
perché
right.
sono storie secondarie.
His Eminence has heard all about you and your heroics. Wait here.
E c'è tanto chiacchiericcio. Sì, per lui è stato il primo Final Fantasy e gli è piaciuto tantissimo. Ah sì, il primo... allora si vede che magari è più incentrato su questo tipo di
You are the
giochi.
sellsword who lent his aid to the... And I shall see it repay. But tell me, is it wealth that...
Neither, Your Eminence. I thought only to inquire about your...
Ah, you are worried the expanded garrison will render your services, yet you needn't be. A proud fighting man like yourself shall always have a place here. Pride of place, in fact. For too long has the contribution of the nobles, but no more. For it is they who shall see the Holy Empire rebuilt.
Il vero 7? Stai parlando dell'originale? L'originale non si batte. Welcome back!
Unscathed from the recent troubles. Her defense is more than can be said for. The Empire wants for a capital, and I with Caer Norvent as her citadel. We need only build a wall around both. Plans are already up soon enough. These thralls shall...
I fear you underestimate how dangerous... Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense of the town. Something...
The people will do... If Sanbreque is to be rebuilt, one whose authority is... That is why this... So that any man who wishes to join the army might do so and be fed, outfitted, and paid as befits a defense... And yet there are those who persist in peddling the treasonous lie that I
suspect they're afraid of losing what little they...
Precisely. The common folk have little and less. To deprive them of even that, you would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own...
Sabine, we have...
Yes, and I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead only...
Without an empire, there are no...
And in yours, there will be only beggars. Is that what Griga wills for her people?
Do not take her name in vain, Sabine.
I'll come back later.
Buongiorno, Shiro.
A citizens' revolt. I wonder what the people really think of the Dukes. It wouldn't hurt to ask them, I suppose.
Sì, sono dei bei giochi, anche i giochi vecchi, però non faranno mai seguito.
I've been hearing a lot of talk about
Nothing good, I'll wager. Going around acting like he owns the place, and with hardly a word to the dame. This is her town.
I take it you'd rather she was in charge.
As far as I'm concerned, she still just need his eminence to sod off back to
All right there.
What? Just your opinion, actually. I wondered what you thought of the Duke of Oriflamme.
Not much. None of us traded. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall in the first place. Couldn't have the rabble getting any closer to the holy capital, could they? And now he's trying to drive us out completely. If the dame said she wanted him run out of town.
Sembra triste.
A question, if you don't mind. What do you think of the Duke of
Don't get me stuck. You build a life for yourself somewhere, earning for some noble to turn up and tell you you've got to hand it all over to him. If he thinks his name and his chains give him the right to, we'll do whatever it takes to keep what's ours. Whatever it takes.
Well, the people seem united enough. What about the soldiers?
Ma stai a laggare te? Non mi sembra che il gioco lagga. Però
Excuse me,
potrebbe
do you have a
essere.
moment? I wondered if you'd mind sharing your thoughts on the Duke.
Well, he's made a lot of enemies coming in the way he did. I mean, look around us. You can see the state the realm's. The traders might not like having the screws put on them, but if they volunteered, a few more of their hard-earned guild would think the Duke's got a point when he says rebuilding the Empire is the best way of making sure we're all protected. And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well, that's...
You're the one who was talking to His Eminence.
On the dame's behalf, yes. I was trying to persuade him not to take the people's goodwill for granted. What do you think of his plans?
I'm a soldier, mate. He tells me what to do. Listen, I've got nothing but respect for the dame. But that's where my loyalties lie. Not with the town or the Empire, but with my wife and children. If the Duke can get us the men and the equipment we need to fight off those blue-skinned bastards...
I left everything. As long as you remain, the veil was...
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but once Sanbreque is back on her feet...
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this. Captain.
No, io non vedo assolutamente nessun problema, però per l'appunto
Certainly.
sono da quest'altra
Clive, wasn't
parte.
it? Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke of Oriflamme. Do you intend to go along with his plan?
But to tell you the truth, it's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army to obey his orders.
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people you loved.
That's right. I did.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either.
Thank you, Clive. I know what I need to do now. Protecting the people I love is what matters. Well, duty calls, so I better thanks again.
A quanto pare sta dando problemi Twitch, eh? Ho chiuso e riaperto Twitch un paio di volte e
Seems Philippe
funziona,
wants to do the
ok.
right thing at least. I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
So Northreach is to be a fortress after all. Well, it will certainly help to hold back the thralls. There's no denying that. Though I doubt it will come as much consolation to the townspeople whose worldly goods are confiscated to pay for it. They deserve to be heard, Clive. To have a say in this new empire the Duke means to build.
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than their opinions. I fear he sees the people as mere pawns on his chessboard to be sacrificed for the greater good. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion. And the soldiers, meanwhile, are content to follow their orders. And not just because of the Duke's rank, but because of his vision.
I thought as much. Had I sworn to protect Sanbreque, I dare say I too would want nothing more than to see it rise. Thank you for trying.
I don't know about that.
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those I love to call it.
But why?
Because I realized what really matters to me. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it. Protecting Northreach. I honestly don't know when those monsters will, but I'm certain they're not finished with us yet. And when they do come back, we need to be ready for them. We need to stand together. With you to lead us, milady. It was you who finally convinced me. There's no point following orders if they go against everything.
Indeed.
All of us. That has always been Northreach's best hope. And one which we have only to turn our attentions to the true end. Thank you, Philippe.
Anything for you.
Allora, sarà...
Speaking of standing together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads? I fear His Eminence has loftier...
Not at all.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Ci faranno difendere anche noi? Da questa
There
orda?
may be, especially with men like you and Philippe to champ. I, for my part, shall continue to work upon the Duke. But I suspect I shall have to call upon you. Until then.
Until then.
Niente, finite così, ok. Sotto una nuova gestione.